Hello everyone and welcome back to another MicroStrategy stock planning update video. Before we get started on this one, there's a video I want to make real soon. Basically what it's going to be about is earlier this week uh, I opened up a few long call options trade with Mara stock and I made a mistake. There was something that that I didn't look at. I have a checklist of things I look at before taking a trade, and I missed one of them. I ended up losing a couple hundred on it, and um, and I plan on sharing that with you guys real soon, maybe tonight. But this video right here was a request by a viewer to do another MicroStrategy update. So I got it right here. We're about to get started real soon. But yeah, stay tuned for that video where I'm going to share with you guys my loss on Mara stock. It was a short-term loss. Short-term trade just didn't work out well because I didn't meet my criteria. And then in the future, I plan on making a strategy video on what my criteria really is and what I look for. But to get started here, um, everything I see in this video is my own opinion. It is not financial advice. I am not recommending anyone to buy or sell any assets, and I never will. And of course, this is just a way for me to express and document my own personal opinions on whatever asset we're talking about on today's time. So the market is still trading. There's still 3 hours left before market close. Now, for those of you that are new, I am going to go ahead and break down the bigger structure of this stock. So MSTR, this is this is how I like to structure my trades. I like to do overall five wave moves up on bullish trends, and then that involves 3 wave corrective moves to then introduce the next bullish leg up after that. And every 3 wave bearish move, corrective move, helps me determine what the next wave count will be, an area where it will be at. So hopefully that made sense. But we started off with a first, second, third wave, fourth wave, and we are currently working on the overall fifth wave, which conservatively, and this is going to change over time, I believe, once the structure kind of like presents itself a little bit more and we trade a little bit more, I'm able to update the screen extension area to, I'm expecting it to be higher. But as of right now, my conservative um, crypto bull market top would send MicroStrategy stock up at least really $3,000 pre-stock split pricing, just for some context there. But this third wave topped out here, and then we had a 3 wave move down with the B wave being an overshooting B wave, it can be very common, especially on a fourth wave correction. So 3 waves move, corrective move, and now we were able to determine that the fourth wave has been completed because we had a move up that surpassed the 0.5 retracement. And then also when we fell back down, we made a higher low, and then we made a higher high from this swing high right here. So due to a surpass of the 0.5 retracement from this wave upward, then we had a higher low and now a higher high. To me, that's really all I need to determine that this fourth wave is in, to confirm that it's in. But of course, if something crazy happens in the world where it sends everything, the whole market, everything just shooting down, like interest rates go up 10% more, like that's impossible. Like, it's just something crazy. If that were to happen, then I will see the stock falling down. But as of right now, what the chart is telling me is that the fourth wave is in, and we are looking for the fifth wave move up. Now, every move up is going to have a 5-wave structure as well. So what that looks like is from the fourth wave to get up to our conservative current 5-wave structure, I want to make that very clear. We have a first wave up, a second wave correction, and then we're currently working our way up onto the third wave count. One more thing, every wave count area, kind of like this purple area right here, is my own measurement. It's my tool, it's my ideal scenario, and what makes most sense to me. As long as we surpass this high right here, as you can see, we did surpass the high, so technically speaking, the third wave could be in because we surpassed this high. But I like to structure also my trades on the more extreme side of things. I like to see if a stock has high volume or it somewhat trails something that has high volume as well, kind of like Bitcoin, where it fluctuates a lot. And this stock tends to trail Bitcoin slightly, less than Mara. Mara doesn't trail Bitcoin 100%, but this one kind of does the same that Mara does, but just less attached to Bitcoin. Hopefully that makes sense. But since I like to see the more extreme side, technically the third wave could be in because we surpassed the first wave high, but we're pretty much at the third wave, or the overall third wave high, and then the overshooting B wave is up here, and we haven't surpassed that. So ideally, seeing the premium half of the purple area would mean we surpass the B high, and the third wave can extend, because we always like to see third waves extend, and usually fourth waves extend as well. And then 5 waves, it's also an extension, while first and second waves can be very short-lived. But in order for me to be more confident that the third wave is in, I would like to see the chart make that obvious. And by making that obvious, it would mean instead of just surpassing this high, we also want to surpass the B wave high on the fourth wave correction. So hopefully that makes sense. And then of course, if we were to break any lower, that would mean that the first wave of this overall, or this smaller second wave structure leading up to the third wave had a first, second, third wave up, and now we might see a short-term 3-wave correction leading back into this blue retracement area before we have the fifth wave, the micro fifth wave, which will bring us up to ideally the premium half of the purple area, completing this third wave, and then from there we can move on to the fourth wave, which will then lead us into the, by the way, this fourth wave would not be in, or I'm not, this is here for now. I would not have an actual fourth wave corrective area until we confirm that the third wave is in. Once the third wave is in, I'll be able to give you guys a good estimate on that. Another reason why I want the third wave to go higher is because if this third wave did top out here, the fourth wave will actually pretty much most likely be around this area down here between the smaller start of the first wave, and then so the beginning of that, and then the end of the second wave. The fourth wave will end up correcting somewhere in that area, and that's not good. That's not ideal. That's very, very, very messy, and I would be lying to you guys if I say that makes sense. That does not make sense. Absolutely not, in my opinion. I am always going to be very straight with you guys, and if we see third wave top out on the third, or on the premium half of this level, it will give us a very clear fourth wave reliable corrective estimate area, because it's, you know, it surpassed all the previous swing highs in this structure. That's how I see it. I honestly, if we did top out third wave here, if we end up somehow confirming that it's there, which I refuse to confirm it's there, because the fourth wave is going to be way too low. It's not going to make any sense at all, and it's going to be extremely messy. Just, you know, we're not trying to force trades, and I'm not trying to BS anyone. That's just terrible. And if anyone wants to say it does make sense, you know, just keep it to yourself. I'm gonna ignore your comment if you say that makes sense, and it just doesn't. It doesn't. So most likely, when it comes to topping out on this third wave, somewhere in the purple, ideally the premium half, we see potentially a first, second, third, could be a 3-wave corrective move for the fourth one, but that shouldn't really fall too far into this area, so that doesn't make too much sense either. And then we'll see the fifth wave up. Instead, what I'm seeing is potentially we see this support right here being broken. Or let me repeat myself. We see that support being respected. We move a little bit higher. Then I can move this higher as the price continues to move higher. And then from there, we'll trace into it. So let's say the price moves up to like just the bottom of this area. Then it retraces briefly, very briefly into the blue retracement, and then from there moves higher. That will complete the micro second wave. So let me actually draw that out so you can just easily reference it on future videos a little bit easier. So it'll look something like this, where we have a micro first wave that can bring us up just about there, a second wave that can potentially bring us in this area, and then a third wave, fourth wave correction, and then a fifth wave into this area right here. I'm going to delete it for now. I don't want to put too much stuff on the chart, but that's kind of like what would be the ideal scenario. Unless we do retrace into this blue a little sooner, then the first will be in. Second wave can be somewhere around the 0.5. The third wave would surpass this one, so it'll be probably in the discounted half of the purple. Fourth wave, once we have the third, we can determine what the fourth will be, and then the fifth will be in the premium levels up here, and then it will look something like that. So that also makes sense, because we want to see wave corrections fall into our, especially second wave, into our retracement area. And this also depends on Bitcoin. As Bitcoin fluctuates, it would influence this to fluctuate similarly, and then we can move on from there. Regardless, I'm saying a lot of things right now, so I'm gonna try to summarize it the best I can. Either we're gonna see the first wave hit the bottom purple, and then from there, if it does hit the bottom purple, we'll see a second wave retracement around here, and then from there, I'll give you guys a micro third wave. Once we have the third wave, I'll give you guys a micro fourth wave, and then once we have that micro fourth wave, we're looking at that premium spot up there. If not, it can also just say that the first wave is in. If we fall into this blue area, then the second wave will be in. Third wave would then be originally where we think the first wave will be. And then we'll have a micro fourth wave, and then the micro fifth wave completing the third wave correction, or the third wave rally of an overall fifth wave. Hopefully that made sense. But again, the summary is, we want to see a first wave get confirmed either right now or a little higher, but a micro first wave correction is absolutely appropriate in this area, unless you want to see it's here, which is fine, as long as if this price doesn't fall into here and it moves higher, then you could say that the first wave was here, second wave, and then the third wave extended up, and then we'll have a fourth and fifth. Regardless, all of these micro waves are so close to each other, and they honestly just, when you look at it a little bit further away, they look all exactly the same. I don't like to focus too much on the micro possibilities, because again, they're so similar to each other, because the prices don't have to trade that far off from each other to fill in. And then also, it gives you too much uncertainty. That's why I love trading, the overall bigger picture. Like, forget all the noise. Like, everything I just said, all the micro stuff is for those of you that do like, the micro movements on stock to make quick in and out trades. But it's very risky. I like to focus on the bigger picture, but I'm still gonna tailor towards it. But it's all just noise, really. And what you really want to focus on the overall moves and the overall wave structures. But yeah, regardless, the microwaves, there's like 3 scenarios, but they all lead pretty much in the same place, and then they all lead into the same result either way. But regardless, we are on the third wave up. We have potentially a micro second wave in, but ideally, it's very, very shallow, because even if you were to take a look it doesn't even fall into the micro retracement level. It just bounces off of it. That's not, I don't like that too much. If it did trace into it, I would say that's the second wave, but it didn't. I'm just not going to worry about it too much. Potentially, we're still working on the first microwave, but we may have just finished the first microwave if we can see the price fall into the blue. If not, then potentially the first microwave is still in play. And if that's the case, I might move this purple area, but for now I'm going to leave it. I still expect the third wave to top out around $2,300, and then from there we can work on figuring out what the fourth wave can be. I'll keep you guys updated on this as we progress. Don't stress too much about the micro count because it all happens very quickly and it all leads into the same area. I hope everyone found this video helpful. If we do break below this completely, something more bearish is happening, and if that happens, I'll update you guys on what that can look like. So until we have confirmation of support in this area, you can start slowly adding, or I'll slowly be adding calls in this area. And then once we have confirmation that the price went higher above this area, then that's enough confirmation for me to know there's enough bullish momentum to bring us back up roughly around $2,000 pre-stock split. And that's where once we have confirmation of that, that's when I'm going to start heavily adding more to my position. But you always want to be light during first levels of confirmation because it can easily break, and then that's where you can stop yourself out and then just reduce your loss, and then so you can hit up the trade again once another setup occurs, and it's a little easier for you to stay in the green whatever time frame you're looking at. So yeah, hopefully this made sense, guys. I'm very bullish on this stock short term. I am not worrying too much about the micro count, although ideally I would like to see the first wave already being in so we can start accumulating long positions around here. But if we do move higher, that's all good. We just gotta be patient, and then we can take advantage of the trade as we continue to get more confirmation. But short-term bullish, long-term bullish, this stock is amazing in my opinion. I believe it's very unlikely for the stock to break below this area, and especially below the second wave count. Because Bitcoin, I really feel like Bitcoin, I'm going to show you guys that real quick. Like the possibility of Bitcoin coming down again and breaking below or falling into this purple area right here, even retesting the support, is extremely unlikely. Like, we're so far off from the halving. There's so much bullish momentum building. We have the Bitcoin conference this week, and there's a lot of people that are expected to say a lot of amazing things about Bitcoin. It's going to pump it up. Yeah, the likelihood of this falling and retesting this area is like so unlikely. It's like, it's still possible, but it's just not something I'm even worried about. If that were to happen, then of course we'll see the price fall this way. Again, hopefully this video made sense. I appreciate everyone watching. Stay tuned. I got some social media links down below. I appreciate you guys to follow me on there. I post updates on there a lot more frequently than I post on YouTube. Have a great day and take care.